From our previous class, we finished with an unexpected result because we created the skill component with the corresponding name and it looks like the color, but for some reason we are not getting the actual color in the representation of the skill. And well, it is not exactly because we did something wrong. In fact, this is because of the way as Tailwind works currently. Results that Tailwind has something called just-in-type compiler, which essentially is going to search or basically read a set of files that we configure looking for different sets of classes or basically styles that are accepted and are part of the Tailwind configurations. Background colors, text colors, paddings, margins, etc. Because, well, results that Tailwind is enormous and getting all of that styles into our assets is not a good idea. So essentially what Tailwind does with that just-in-time project is to only use the actual styles that we have. But the problem is that our actual list of colors for the text or the backgrounds or even the icons are coming from our database. They are not in any file essentially. Basically not in a view, not in a model, not in a compiled view or a component of view or something like that. We don't have them. And we don't have a way to say to Tailwind to read that from our database. It is not possible. So yeah, this is where comes in play our customization file, the one that we use to insert the list of text or backgrounds or icons. If we go to the configuration of Tailwind, going to, of course, tailwind.config.js, you can see that there exists a directive called content. We read that saying, hey, please go and read the blade files for the views or the .view file for the components of view or even the compiled files that we have for our views. And well, Tailwind is going to take care of all of that, read the different classes. So we have the padding, the margins, the flex, the grids that we are actually and correctly using. But again, as our list of colors or backgrounds and icons is not there, there is no way that Tailwind is going to take that into account. So yeah, essentially, as you might be guessing, the only thing that we have to do is to say, hey, just go and read that additional file. That is the reason why we created that specific file several classes ago. Probably in that moment that wasn't pretty clear, but now it is clear. This is because of Tailwind and the just-in-time project. So we need to say, hey, I actually have a list of colors and backgrounds and even icons here. So please read it and include all of those as valid elements that I have been using. So yeah, we need to go to JSON folder in the resources, of course, as you can see here. And there we are going to say, hey, please read anything with any name, which extension is JSON. So in this case, this is going to take the customization file.json. So after this and after the compile is there, if you prefer, you can stop and start it again, but it is not completely required. We can go back and refresh. And as you are going to see, we are going to have the list of colors available, and of course these are visible now. So that's all related with the current configuration that we had to change and to resolve this specific issue. But results that we have some pending details as well. For example, this in the list of, let's say, social media that we have in our portfolio are links. So let's include that as links and finish with including the actual icons that we are going to use in the following classes to represent our product. So let's go to our welcome view as well, and we are going to use the actual component that we know, which is link for our social media. So let's go there. We are on welcome.view, and almost in the bottom, we have the list of social media, essentially our social networks. So there, we just need to use all of them as links. So let's copy all of this. We have link, and we have the name of the social media here. Now, all of them are going to have an href. You are free to define this. I'm just going to leave this as a wildcard, but of course you need to define any of the GitHub, Twitter, Stack Overflow, Facebook, and whatever that you prefer, and put it there. But we are going to use some styling here. So this is flex, justify, evenly, item center, but every specific link is going to have its specific style. So we are going to have a class here. You can copy and paste if you prefer, or using Sublime, you can write all of those lines as well. So we have a border in the bottom. So it is going to be underlined, let's say, but with some space, and we are going to have a padding bottom of 1, leaving a space for that specific border. And once the user is hover this specific element, we are going to say that the text is gonna be gray of 50. Let's to finish here to preserve a little the order. A padding X, it means in the left and in the right of 2. And that is essentially all. So if we save here, let's to add a little of order on those components, leaving a line here. Here it is. Of course, this is Twitter. Let's to verify how it looks like now. Let's to refresh. And there we are. We can just click on them. Of course, those are just the wildcards, so it is not going anywhere. But of course, those are working and looking perfectly fine. Of course, if you prefer, you can even have a margin or any kind of separation between them. But this is gonna work perfectly for us. There is not exactly so much things to do here. Now you can even go to a target blank or something like that, so the user can actually go to a completely separated page. But again, just a matter of details. It is your portfolio. You can even do different things here. There is not much to do. Now, let's to focus in something important here, preparing the land for the projects. Because the projects, remember, have a title, a description, and additionally an icon. So even when we have the names of those icons coming from our customization file, we need to actually get them from anywhere. We don't have this coming from Laravel Jetstream or even Inertia or something like that. So, well, we are going to use a separated package for it called Hero Icon. So let's go there, heroicons.com, and here you can see the different list of icons. If you want to include another ones, you just need to check the name and copy that chart by, cache, chart bars, etc. And you have 2 different flavors, outline or solid. We are going to use the solid ones. And if we go to documentation, we have different ways to include this specific set of icons, but the one that we are going to use is the view one, including or basically installing this specific package. And once we have it installed, we need to import the definition of the icon that we are going to use and use it as a tag. And we can, of course, specify the corresponding styles that we need. So we are not going to use those specifically right now. We are going to do that in following classes. But for now, the only thing that we are going to do is to install the actual package for it. So let's go to our command prompt, any of those, and we can open that in the location of our project here. So we can just use npm install hero icons for the view modification, press enter, and this is going, of course, to install that. That means that after this, we can get access to all of those components, basically all of those icons, and use them into our project. And that is going to be pretty interesting because remember, the name of the icon comes from the database. That means that the name of that specific tag needs to be dynamic. And that is something that we are going to see in the following class and in the following one to make that dynamically. See you there.